What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this easy, beginner, starter survival base with everything that you need to survive in Minecraft. We have a small yet stylish house with enough room for all of your stuff. We have a chicken coop slash animal raising area, a fishing pond for all of your fishing needs, and of course a farming area featuring Brandon the Scarecrow. If you enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button because not only would it help me out, it would also help out poor Steve and also Brandon. Without any further ado, I don't want to keep you cooped up at the beginning of this video. Haha. Let's start building. Before we begin building, here are all of the materials that we are going to be using throughout the build. Please make sure that you have all of those and enough of them as well. And don't be afraid to swap out materials if you are building this in survival. The amount of space required is a 19 block by a 21 block area. It is absolutely not necessary to build the grid, however, it always helps. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure that you have enough stuff, enough room, and you have enough enthusiasm to build this build. Once you have all of those, we can begin. So step number 1 involves us coming all the way to the front left-hand corner of our grid. If you've not built the grid, don't worry, we're literally starting here. Place an oak wood. We have to go back from this oak wood by 20 using oak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then go right by 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're now going to move forwards again, and we want to go forwards by 20. However, it is just as easy, if not easier, to look at the opposite side of the build and simply match the length of the rows. We will end up with this horseshoe shape right here. We want to bring in the two ends of the horseshoe on the left and the right where we started and where we finished. We want to extend both of these sides in by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same on the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Now, I want you to place this pattern beginning from either the left inside the horseshoe or the right. We, on top of the oak wood, place an oak wood. This is at the very end. Next to it, a fence. Oak wood, 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 fence. You guys get the idea. We want to follow this pattern going all the way around. Having a double high wall makes this place a whole lot more defensible, makes it look a little bit better, and did I mention it makes it a bit more defensible? That's the main reason. We want to continue this going all the way around the outside. If you want to add a bit of a personal flair, might I recommend extending up the corners or adding a very defined gate that is a bit more impenetrable. It's up to you, but the end result should look very much like this. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm just going to chuck these two materials back in there, and I'm going to grab all of this stuff. These are house building materials, the oak wood planks, the slabs, the stones, the glass, and the doors, and all that fun stuff. The house is to be made right in the very back left-hand corner of the fence. Beginning from this inward corner block, this grass here, I want you to place 4 oak planks on top of this grass. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go right also by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend down. And then extend that 4th block forwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend down. And then I want you to extend this block to the left. Once. place a white stained glass pane, place an oak wood plank on top of that pane, but also left you want to place 2 more oak planks. 1, 2. Connect down to the ground, like this. And then I want you to seal up the right side of this build. Only the right. He says only the right, immediately contradicts himself and tells you also to seal up the back. On the back of the house, I also want you to place an oak plank right on top of the middle. If you like, you can even add a little bit of glass pane, if you so choose. And by the way, if you like, you can add additional windows around the house. It's just that if you are in survival, you don't really want to be wasting all of your materials on just looks. But if you wanted to add stuff like that around the house, that's perfectly fine. When it comes to the front of the house, it'd be easier for us to actually dig out the floor on the inside a little bit first. So I'm actually going to dig out all of the grass that we have here, and I'm going to place oak planks inside. I'm saving us some trouble when we place the door. So now that we have a floor for the inside of the house, we're going to place a door, specifically backwards, because in my opinion it looks a little bit better because it creates depth, just to the right here. I'm also going to place oak wood planks surrounding the door because we don't want any gaps in the house. I'm going to place oak wood planks at the base and at the top of this empty space. That rhymed. And I want to place a white stained glass pane right here in this empty space. Oak trapdoors left and right to give it a bit of flair. And then the right side of this build right here. First, I am going to dig out this grass and place oak planks inside. But I'm going to bring in each end of the house, or you know what, we only have to bring in the first, this left side here, closest to the front, because we can extend this block in, then out by 2, and then up by 1, and then I want you to place an oak wood slab on top, and I want you to extend these 2 oak wood planks backwards, connect back to the house like this, do the same with the oak wood slabs, and extend these slabs inwards. We'll have to add a row of oak wood planks here. We'll also have to add an oak wood plank specifically here as well, and we're going to place a glass pane right here. So we're just making a little addition to the house, because now, and you'll thank me for this I think, on the inside, a bit more room, so you can store a little bit more, a little bit of extra stuff. And now that we've done that, we're going to add a roof. And the roof's quite simple. I'm doing this to all of my roofs. I love how this looks. So, stone brick slab to the right of the front of the side of the house, right up at the top. Extend towards you. In. Up. In. Up. In. Up. We've hit the apex, which means we're going to go left, down, left, down and left, like that, which is looking good. And then we're simply going to extend all of these backwards and repeat. So back, in, up, in, up, in, up. We have hit the apex, and then we're going to go left, down, left, left. Apex meaning the highest point for the roof and most things. The apex simply means the top. Like with dinosaurs, apex predators. Anyway, not just dinosaurs, but animals. You guys get the idea. And we're just going to extend forwards and backwards all of these stone bricks like this. We're going to join it all together, coming all the way up at the sides. I'm going to delete that because that shouldn't be there. We don't want a rocky roof, not to be confused with rocky road. And we want to have a nice sealed up roof. We are missing one slight detail though, but by the way, I will point out that looks quite good. It's a very simple house, but sometimes simple is really cool. On the left side of the build, probably about here I would say, we want a chimney. The chimney's easy to make. 2 oak wood planks on top of each other, stone slab, boom, perfect. And that looks really good from, well, no matter what side you look at it really. The house is almost complete. We're going to add oak leaves to the right side of the house. The oak leaves are simply going to come up the right side and they're going to stop one short. You see, when you look at the house from this angle, it creates a level of depth. Depth is cool. I'm going to dump these materials for a second whilst I figure out what I'm going to need, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly figure out what I'm going to be using for the chicken coop, and then I'll tell you what you'll need. So these are the materials that we are going to be using for the chicken coop, also featuring some green carpet and maybe a couple of other detail related things. But grab all of these. And once you have them, we want to come all the way to the back middle part of the base. As a matter of fact, this hedge that we have created is quite important because I want you to leave a gap of 1 between the hedge and beginning from the end of the wall, I want you to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oak fence coming out from the wall. Place an oak wood on the end. Then 2 oak fence gates coming across to the right. Another oak wood. And then oak fence coming towards the right, connecting back to the wall. This is going to be the chicken coop. Well, with the chicken coop, there is a coop. The coop is going to be made if we begin from the back corner of the area that we have here. It's the right back corner of the wall. You want to come in not 1 block diagonally, but 2. So right here, you place an oak wood fence, leave a gap of 1 going right, oak wood fence, leave a gap of 1 moving across, place another oak wood fence in a square formation like this. We're also going to need some oak wood planks and oak wood slabs. We are going to place oak wood slabs covering and connecting all of the oak wood fence. We are also going to form the corners into planks because they will naturally do that. We're also going to add an oak wood plank on top of each one of those. We're going to add oak wood slabs between those planks at the left, right and back sides. We're also going to place a little bit of a roof on this. It's simply made out of stone slabs, and it just wants to have stone slabs running across the sides like this, stone slabs coming up the back, and then forwards, like that. And then you could even, if you wanted to, I mean, you could like fill it in a little bit like that, but I mean, there's no real reason to. I mean, you can if you like, though. I mean, you kind of have to place a little bit of stone slabs like there to get it started, but the inside could have a little bit more room. I want to have a couple of rows of stone brick slabs leading down to the ground, so like you can walk up and down to it, you know? I'm also going to make it so that any chickens could not walk out, because there's a solid, actually I don't think they can anyway, because that's a half block, right? Like we can't place a fence gate there. Oh, we're all good then. And now that we've done that, we can customize the area a little bit. So this might end up making chickens able to escape, but we're going to place a couple of hay bales like in this corner a little bit. We're going to place like a little drinking area, a cauldron with an oak trapdoor on top. We can keep a chest here for various uses. I'm going to place in the hopes, and I mean hopes because this is a guy that has lost a lot of chickens. A lot of chickens. I'm going to place some green carpet because hopefully that means they won't be able to hop the fence. If not, I mean, it just kind of looks a little bit better in my opinion anyway. But we'll see. They'll almost certainly be able to say like jump on the hay and like escape that way. That is a problem. But I don't think they'll be able to get over the carpet. What we might do. Fun times here. Why don't we actually see where are spawn eggs? Why don't we see if chickens are able to escape and in what variety? Let's just watch them for a second. You know what? I think they're just happy being in their coop. That guy over there, Chicken Little, was having an excellent time. Look at them, they're dancing. So the next aspect of the survival base is to create a little fishing pond. It requires all of these materials right here. Once you've gathered all of them, we can begin. So, measuring out from the front right corner of the survival base, I want you to come inwards diagonally. 1, 2, 3. I want you to move left and dig. Dig out 1, 2, and then you want to dig forwards 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to dig out all of those gaps. the chickens are on the loose. I repeat, the chickens are on the loose. I would wager he jumped onto the hay, but I'm not sure, or maybe even the chest. I want to then dig out the middle 4 blocks on the left and right side like this. We're going to fill in these areas a little bit. So, for instance, we're just going to add a little bit of sand to the top left corner, like this. And we'll do the same to the bottom right corner, like that. Something like that, kind of like an abstract sort of shape. I mean, you could even kind of make it a little bit like an M for Mario or a W for Wario. But we're going to fill this in using water buckets. You can kind of just create whatever shape or pattern that you like. And you can even change up the size or shape of the pond or remove it completely. Gonna add a couple of sugar canes. Those will eventually grow. I actually double click that one, but hey. And I'm also going to create a little fishing platform. So, you know, like a little oak wood slab here. Maybe something like that. Have it overhang a little bit. A pseudo fishing rod. So just a couple of oak fence on top of each other. Kind of like this, you know. Maybe something like that looks pretty good. And, of course, I'm just going to have a little chest for all of the things that we'll be catching. And now that that is done, ladies and gentlemen, the farm. So, we're going to start off with these materials for the farm. Feel free to just pause and grab them if you like. So, keeping current with how we've been making this, I want you to come to the front left-hand corner of your base. And I want you to come inwards diagonally. 1, 2. So right here, this is the starting position. On top of this block, place an oak fence. And extend it up, left, up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Place an oak wood on the end. Come back to the starting fence and go right, down, right to oak wood. Like that. I'm going to place a couple of oak leaves in the corner. We can still walk around the farm. And we're going to now place an iron bar somewhere about, I don't know, maybe about here, you know, kind of like coming inwards diagonally a little bit. I'm going to hoe the area, and I'm just going to kind of like follow the contour, follow the shape of the farm. And as I hoe, I'm going to add some seeds. And then I'm going to add another row of hoe, and I'm going to add some seeds. So something like that looks pretty good. I might even like hoe here, maybe here as well, add some seeds. There is a scarecrow I'm quite fond of. His name is Brandon. The little one escaped as well, didn't he? On top of the iron bar, place a red terracotta with a carved pumpkin on top. Place an oak fence to the right and left, and an item frame in the center. I'm going to chuck all these materials in my inventory, except the pumpkin head, because if I Y-click that, then it will go onto my head, and I don't want that to happen. And then I'm going to grab a shovel, buttons, and I'm also going to grab some other stuff, like maybe like oak leaves a little bit, and a little bit of stone, and I need some block of iron. So, I figure that the Mr. Brandon is wearing overalls, so kind of like a red slash white vibe. You could even use perhaps a banner in some sort of way to kind of like give him kind of like, you know, that look. But that's pretty much a finished scarecrow. I'm going to add buttons on the end of the farm here for decorative purposes. And I'm going to shovel a little path just kind of like on the outside of the farm. Additionally, I'm going to shovel kind of like a little bit just in front of the chicken coop, maybe even a little bit around the inside of it, like that. I might even perhaps like add a little bit of a path just like at the entrance a little bit. You could even add a little bit around the fishing area, and of course you could even add a little bit coming towards the house. I'm going to add a couple of bits of stone as well, so kind of like in conjunction with the path. And I'm also going to add a little bit of stone, kind of. I want it to be fairly obvious where you've got to go. I mean, it's a small base, but I love it when there's sort of pathways. So, like, you walk in the base and you're like, oh, where should I go? Maybe start off with the house. There's a path going that way. You know, you guys get the idea. I like it in games where you kind of, like, get pointed in the general direction that the game wants you to be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much that. I mean, if you want, you can add a couple of bit more, like, oak leaves and stuff, kind of, like, around the base a little bit, you know. Just kind of give it that... Just kind of give it, like, that sort of feel. I don't really feel like adding any more than that. I mean, you could even add, say, flowers. You could add a tree. You could do all sorts of stuff. I kind of like it when my houses have flowers, so maybe, like, one there. That's quite nice. And, I mean, like I say, you can just add a couple, like, wherever you want. I like adding colour and stuff to build, so that fits nicely. And you don't need too much of it. And let me just clean up this, and we can take a look at the finished product. And there we go! Hopefully, once you have finished all of those steps, you will be left with a nice, satisfying beginner's survival base that has everything that you need to survive in Minecraft. Well, almost everything. I mean, it kind of is missing, chickens. Why would you leave me, Chicken Little? If you did enjoy this tutorial, please remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. Not only does it help me out, but it also helps out Brendan as well. He needs a job, but he gets bored when he doesn't have one. If you would like to keep up to date with the channel, please hit that subscription button and click the little bell next to it. That ensures that all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make any more survival related bases, I've got loads of them on the channel. Card system, description below, all of those fun places, you'll be able to find them, and I'm selling them for no money. It's a bad business idea, really, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to jump up to this chimney and then jump off of it while saying goodbye. Why? Because I can. Goodbye.